like the map, and I see some kind of mouse and a whole bunch of characters, and it looks like someone had to walk the plank.
Yeah, something like that. I found out how to drag everyone to a spot.
Drag everyone to a spot?
Yeah, I think only a DM can do it.
Oh, whoa. You can take my attention to wherever.
Yes.
That's kind of useful.
Yes.
Or if you're a bastard, it's kind of, hey, Streambox has inspiration.
Yes, it does.
It's powerful.
Yeah, everybody got inspiration again at the end of the last session.
Awesome. When I looked at that, I was like, oh, a card. And I expected to turn it over and find like counterspell or something. But that's not what it was.
Okay, so to get started here. So you went, basically, if you watch the beginning of the video, it's at like the 10th minute, I think. There's a part where your character has a note, and he says, guys, I have to go. You might go to the guild. I promise to return this emergency, something like that. And so they give your character a bunch of gems, some gold. Like,
sweet.
Yeah, like 300. So you had to give all the gems to your master, basically. But you can keep the gold. You got like 50 more gold.
I see that we have a goat with herpes.
Yeah, I don't know who put that there.
These are space herpes, by the way. They're not normal herpes.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, but I got gems that I have to give to my master, and I got some money.
Yeah.
All
yeah.
right.
In return for the gems, he gives you the stuff you need to study the arts. He basically gives you some scrolls with practice regimens, and which could lead to furthering your wizardry. So he's
awesome.
Like, Elred, your master, says, great job. Here's some scrolls to help you advance in the future. And if you currently want to level, that's basically what you would need. Now, he also gives you another reward. He gives you a folding boat.
Folding boat.
Folding boat.
That has to go on my character sheet. I tried to write it down on the sheet of paper here, but that's not useful. I'll go into farmer.
He gives you a little speech. When he gives it to you, he basically said, it's came in handy for me many times, but I don't expect to be out to sea, and it sounds like you may be. He urges you to continue with your party and keep getting gems and valuable components as kind of your, I can't think of the right word, but basically duty to be his apprentice.
Right.
So anything other than that, magic items, cool stuff, you can keep. But if it's a particular component that's rare, he really, really wants it. And gems are valuable because gems are used in a lot of different stuff. And there's a list, basically what I said in the email, anything like that.
Cool. I think I'm going to have to tell him that he's gotten weirder since I discovered that he was making us into spies.
Yeah, he's a full-on elf. He's mostly wizard. He's a diplomat. He does do a bit of, the skulking around, but he's also a very good speaker and a kind of a figure, and he knows what he's doing. So make an intelligence check. Let's see if you know a little more about him that he probably hasn't said about Elred. Oh yeah, the other stuff we'll save in our recording. He lives in a cloaked. That's really good. Okay, so you know that he's a diplomat from Everesk.
Evereska.
Is that have an A at the end of it? I may have written it down wrong or how to type it.
It's that.
Yeah, Evereska.
Okay.
Evereska. It's in the. It's on the cliffs, far to the west and a little to the north.
Right.
And it's an elven village. He's a diplomat from there. he was stationed here during one of the wars and just basically hasn't returned and stayed after the war ended to continue his duty. But he's had a lot more spare time since the war ended and has now taken on some people to train. There is you. There is a human from the north named Esteban. And there's also a half-elf named Henry Grimfrost.
Henry Grimfrost.
And he does not talk at all. He pretty much just studies. And he's got blonde hair. Seems a little troubled. Esteban's pretty outgoing. He's a good guy. He's a little gruff. He's from somewhere up north where it's really cold. He's got all these cool furs. He's always showing his fur coats and vests.
Sorry, I'm laughing because I have a dirty mind.
Elred's tower is cloaked. It's near Blustitch, and it's on the edge of the Hermit's Woods. When you're looking at it from basically outside of the woods, it looks like trees. You could walk right through it and not know it. But if you know what to look for, or you're led to it, which you guys at this point know what to look for. So basically your master calls to you. He sent you this note that just appeared in your hand, and he seems to have some urgent news for you about him. He says, I've got to go. There's trouble. I'm going to leave the bottom floor of this cloak tower open for you guys to use as you wish. And I may not return for up to a year. I have a stash box down below that you can put stuff, and keep gathering those things. I will have a lot of updates when I return.
Awesome.
And of course the others are there too. Henry and Esteban are also there. And just like, okay. And you guys are basically all friends. Henry's a little outgoing, not very outgoing, but he's still trustworthy. Just FYI, none of them seem shady to you. You've been studying with them for quite a while, all that good stuff.
It's good to be able to trust your fellow spies.
Yeah, definitely. So,
Let's say.
he says
Go ahead.
your duty is to keep with this party and keep getting as many components as you can. And we'll have a stockpile, and I can train you all kinds of sweet spells. Paraphrasing here, what he would really say. And keep any magic items or gold for yourself. Might need a few platinum in there in the fun, but you're going to want a lot of gems. And just, he rattles off a list, and it's that list that I say in the email. Maybe I should just look, but that would take time.
That's all right. Like, that's a long list. I'll try and have all of it. So you don't know how long you're going to be gone?
I'll be back by next summer at the very latest. This may only take one season, though, so I could return in a few months. It just depends how it goes. I'll be heading west. I wish I could tell you more, but it's probably in all of our best interests for me not to.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you, and to you as well. And he starts going about kind of a slow, long farewell to you guys. He shakes all your hands, and in this process, he gives you all gifts, where he gives you the folding boat and says, this was very useful to me at one time. Maybe it'll serve you well in your adventures.
I think so. Looks like there are pirates to deal with. Maybe they're already dealt with. So this boat, like, what kind of size is this boat?
Folding boat? A folding boat is a small box That's like 6 inches by 6 inches. It weighs 4 pounds. And when you open it up, it looks like nothing is inside of it. So you can store things inside of it. It's 6 inches by 6 inches. And I should have it in the team guide here.
That's all right. This is just a box, then I can know what it is.
It has 2 different commands, or 3 different commands actually. It has one command to turn it into a 10-foot long boat that is 4 feet wide and has 1 set of rows, like rowing rows. So a 10-foot. It can also become with the second command, a 24-foot boat that has, I believe, 4 sets of rows. So up to 4 people can row at a time, and it also has some sailing sails, of triangular ones. Can't remember what those are called.
I have no idea.
And then the third command turns it back into a box. And that third command does not work if people are on the boat.
Oh, I was about to ask that.
Yeah, but it does work for items. Anything that would fit in the box on the boat will stay in the box. Anything that's too big for the box will appear outside of it.
Cool. Sounds useful.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing like a folding boat.
This is similar to when I used to ask whether the treasure was an airship usually. And a little different. So then the master, Elred, says his goodbyes.
Yes, for now.
All right, Elred, well, we'll take care of this place.
I trust you will. You've been great students. And this will not be the end. Even though it feels like a long time.
It sounds like you're going somewhere dangerous.
There could be great danger. I should warn you, or at least tell you. I may send for aid if I can see no other options. I don't think it'll come to that.
Well, we'll be here. Or somewhere, collecting gems.
Very good. Now, the one of you who gets the most components and the best components, I will give a very special reward. Henry says, kind of makes a sound like he's got this.
I make a giggle like I think it's a strange reward. What are you going to give? Not, yeah, anyway.
Yeah, so that's basically it. And then he's going to leave later. You can do anything you want, but he plans to leave, you think, in the middle of the night. You know, he's going to meditate first. He is an elf, so he doesn't have to rest for too long.
Right.
But he does have some things packed. He's packed a few bags. You know, he's got spells to summon mounts. So he knows his way around. As far as you know, he can teleport, but you've never seen him or heard of him doing anything like that. But you wouldn't be surprised.
Sounds powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, he seems very powerful to your character. He's very old elf, but he looks young, seems young. But you've started to notice that he's seen many wars. He's seen just way too many things to be young. He has stories and stories on end about things he's been through, but he usually only tells those when he's feeling real comfortable after a long day of practicing with you guys. So if things go bad during that day, though, he usually doesn't tell you any stories. Just kind of.
He gets mad at us.
Yeah.
It's like a kindergarten teacher.
Yeah, basically. Master.
Like, all right, guys, you've been good. This bard here, everyone sees the picture. You had that right.
So a lot of your knowledge, if you're doing knowledge checks, your random knowledge, your jack of all trades, may be coming from his stories sometimes. By this time, you've trained with him a few years, heard a lot of things, gathered a lot of things, put a lot of things together that you didn't know before, just about how things work in the real world, things like that.
Cool. And not just in the world of traveling performers like my parents.
Yes, correct. So he is definitely a very good master overall. You're as far as learning, because you seem to be advancing quickly in his care.
Awesome. I was going to attribute that to myself, but
yes, definitely yourself too.
He's good.
He will only take on the best, pretty much. He won't mess with people that aren't very promising. So you're definitely very capable on your own, in his opinion, even.
If I remember right, he took me on because I caught him trying to teach us to be spies.
I don't remember exactly. Did I say, was that in that email?
Yep.
Okay.
Because he was like manipulating some people, convincing them to do stuff that didn't seem right. Like he was teaching them to be wizards, but he was having them do weird tasks, like go test Featherfall in real life by sneaking up a tower.
Oh yeah.
And then jumping off.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got to learn to trust magic if you're gonna be a wizard.
Yeah. And then he was like, go mage hand stuff from someone's pocket. Things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so one day my character apparently discovered what he was doing. And he was like using the people that he wasn't like letting in on his business to put together little plots.
He takes advantage of his apprentices, yes. He'll have you go do little quests and things for him to find out what he needs. And yeah, he does try to mask it as training. And, yeah, you guys have pretty well. You don't know if the other two have figured it out, but you've definitely figured it out. Esteban's kind of a little oblivious. He doesn't really. He finds it a little odd when he has to go do stuff like that, but he doesn't get most of those jobs anymore.
Leave that to Henry.
Yeah, Henry's pretty good. He's really good as far as you know. He's in and out.
Cool. So the master is sleeping. Elred is sleeping.
Yeah, he does eventually go up to trance, and it's pretty late in the evening. You're way out of town, but right now, at this very moment, there's either a bunch of sailors getting drunk, or they're fighting on a boat.
All right.
And so when you return with them, what you're going to see is them walking off a boat with this lady that they're carrying that's pretty much passed out.
That doesn't seem suspicious at all.
Mirth is in like pristine condition. It's like not wounded at all. But if you look at the little halfling and the cleric, they're all beat up. They've got blood pouring out of them and just look like they got in one heck of a fight just moments ago where they almost died.
I guess that. Really wow. Sounds like I missed an action.
Yeah. Well, Mirth took a lot of damage. It's totally metagame now. Mirth took a lot of damage, but he was all in bear form, so when he morphs back, he's like, nothing hit me. That all happened to the bear.
Really? That's insanely powerful.
Yes. Druids can do that. They get this new form. When the form goes to 0, they turn back to themselves with their normal hit points. And then you can morph into something else for a new bar of hit points.
So they can do that like 3 times per day or something? Like
yes.
Wisdom modifier per day.
3 times per day, I think. It increases as you level. Yeah, that's like...
That's really powerful.
Yeah, especially when you're a barbarian.
So you can like turn into a bear. And can you turn into a bear again? Or do you have to pick a new animal?
Yeah. No, you can do the same one.
So you get like 4 health bars,
Yeah,
and you get to be a bear.
pretty good.
Awesome. I get to be a bard.
You sure do.
Similar there.
So you get 475 experience.
475.
Yep.
All right.
475 and inspiration.
Let me put that here. Right there. I really need to remember that it's right there on the front for experience.
Oh, yeah, and what it really looked like when we were playing, I didn't have this fancy bow going.
Oh no. So you get like a map. Like
Oh, yeah, it
forest.
was drawn. You'll see it in the video. Because I didn't, I didn't know what they were going to do, so I didn't have everything in the world planned.
You can't know what PCs are going to do. That's not a thing.
Yeah, it's
Like
impossible.
this.
So this was it.
Oh, that's pretty similar to the boat. It's called that boat.
It is.
Well drawn.
So yeah, this was all done on the fly. Just drew a boat, figured it out, went with it, and all kinds of stuff happened. It was awesome, actually. It was pretty sweet. You have to watch it. It was there's like 4 or 5 parts that are so hilarious. So that right there is a bunch of balls. That guy
When you
right-
say this thing is what?
oh, that guy's Dercules. He's a really derpy pirate, and the only one left alive besides the main guy. Yeah. They did not kill Dercules.
Oh, that's nice of them. He sounds like a cool guy. And this you say is a stack of balls.
Yeah, it's a bunch of little balls from a thieves' kit.
Oh, that makes more sense. So like people to slip on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. One time I was teaching a bunch of students. We were doing a little experiment where you shoot a ball at something. But one of the groups of students was missing a ball. So I asked if anybody had 2 balls. And that was a problem.
All right, I'm going to stop this stream now. Goodbye if anyone's watching.